Today on ELN Morning.
A look at how Elon's chapter of Intervarsity is reacting to a national controversy.
An Elon staff member is running for public office. Brian Feely is live in studio to chat.
He's been on stage his whole life, and now he's coming to ours. Trey McMichael performs live in studio.
All that and more.
ELN Morning starts right now.
Good morning, Elon. Thanks for starting your morning with us. I'm Rachel Ellis.
And I'm Paul Bonk.
Did you watch the World Series last night?
I did not. I missed it. I was doing homework.
Crazy game.
Crazy
Cubs ended up winning.
Crazy. I'm happy for them though, because Cleveland won basketball, so spreading the love a little.
It's spreading love,
Yeah,
and over 100 years, that's a big deal.
Yeah, huge deal, obviously. 2 Elon University students, including one football player, were arrested Sunday for damaging a mailbox and running away from a town of Elon police officer. Sophomore quarterback Connor Hughes and former football player sophomore Kyle McQuester were booked in Alamance County Jail Sunday, each charged with a misdemeanor for injury to personal property and a misdemeanor for resisting public officer.
Hughes is currently suspended from what the team has called a violation of team rules. The news of the arrest and suspension comes after head coach Rich Skrosky hinted to the Burlington Times News that Hughes would be considered for the starting in Elon's next game this Saturday at Towson University. For more information on this developing story, check out our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
The National Organization of Intervarsity restated its stance on human sexuality earlier this month. Jackie Pascal has more on the Elon chapter's response.
The sounds of worship echoes throughout Elon's Christian group Intervarsity, but what you can't hear is the controversy they've been facing. The National Collegiate Ministry recently reiterated its theological stance against same-sex marriage, causing an outcry in the LGBT community.
What we're dealing with here is a lot of years of hurt and pain inflicted on the LGBTQIA community from different religious groups, including Christians. And so for a lot of people, what this news said was this was just another sign that said, you're not welcome here.
The deadline is this month for staff members of Intervarsity National to leave the organization if they disagree with its stance. Elon's IB staff, Doug and Katie Arms, declined to speak on camera, but Doug says their views as advisors shouldn't influence Elon's chapter.
I guess there's meaning behind that of kind of what we stand for and what our values are. And the group of students here at Elon has the choice to affiliate with the national organization.
Associate Chaplain for Protestant Life Joel Harder says he does see where the LGBT community could feel discriminated against.
Homosexuality is sin, that at least acting out same-sex attraction is sinful behavior, and I think that's, for me, that's a hurtful, position to hear if you're LGBTQIA.
Ivy wants to combat the negative stigma on a smaller level.
What we try and do is help equip our small group leaders to have those conversations with our students.
Student leaders aren't expected to have the same ideologies as Intervarsity National.
We owe it to Elon's campus to be more vocal and to explain more what's going on with corporate Intervarsity and Intervarsity on our chapter. By the end of the day, we're just human and didn't handle that the best way.
IV's student leadership application deadline was extended until this Friday. Jackie Pascal, ELN Morning.
Elon's Intervarsity chapter is teaming up with Elon's LGBT group Spectrum for the 18th annual Woofstock this Saturday at the Burlington City Park Amphitheater, benefiting the Humane Society of Alamance County.
President Barack Obama spoke at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill to campaign for Hillary Clinton. He emphasized the importance of every vote.
Back in 2008, I won North Carolina by 14,000 votes. That's about 2 votes per precinct. If just 2 votes per precinct had gone the other way, I would have lost North Carolina. How can you say your vote doesn't count?
Election night is 5 days away. ELN will have our live election show Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on Facebook Live.
While coverage of the 2016 election has been all over the news, one Elon employee is running in a race that hasn't gotten much attention. Our Andrew Feather sat down with Brian Feely to talk about the election.
Brian Feely is Director of Alumni Engagement here at Elon University, but soon he might have another job. Feely is running for the Alamance County Board of Education.
If I see a need in the community, I'm going to look to fill it.
Feely has 2 children, 1-year-old Colin and 4-year-old Ashlyn, who starts kindergarten next year, and said they were the motivation to run.
They were really the inspiration because when I looked around, I said, are my kids and the rest of the kids in this county going to have a future that we could all be proud of?
And Feely also found inspiration in his mother, who was a public school teacher for 32 years.
Between the care for her students and the selflessness to, really sacrifice to make sure that her students were prepared every day, I got to see firsthand, and it just gave me tremendous respect for our teachers.
His policy includes empowering educators to be innovative in their teaching and raising teacher salaries and supplements to attract and keep good teachers.
We see too many teachers leaving schools that they love and communities that they love here in Alamance County and either going to Virginia or in other states, or they're going just across the boundary of the county.
Andrew Feather, ELN Morning.
And we have Brian Feely here in the studio. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Good morning, and it's so great to be in your beautiful new studio.
We're happy to be here too. We're happy to be here too. So what's been sort of the hardest part of this whole process of running for office?
I think time, just the time to campaign in a countywide election is demanding. And I think that might be part of why so few people step forward to try to run, let alone serve. And I truly believe that we need more people serving in public office here in the county. So just getting out there to get yard signs around the community, to generate volunteer interest and just spread the word is probably the biggest challenge. And for me, as a newcomer, running against 4 incumbents, so there's 5 of us on the ballot, and voters will get to select 4 of the 5. Running against incumbents who have been there, done that is probably the biggest challenge.
Sure, of course.
Great. So how has Elon University influenced your campaign, if it has?
Interesting question. I would say Elon University has influenced my life. So I graduated Elon in 2003, left and spent about 11 years in the Washington, D.C. area working for a nonprofit that I was very passionate about. And I've been back on staff for about 2.5 years. And if Elon has taught me anything, it's that if you see a need in your community and you think that you could fill it with your talents, your energy, your passion, that it's incumbent upon all of us to try to fill that need. And I saw that within the Board of Education as we moved down here, attended a lot of school meetings, and just feel like I could add a very positive, forward-thinking, innovative, and passionate voice to the Board of Education.
Great. Well, thank you
Thanks
so much.
for coming on. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
And some sad news. Professor Emerita Martha Smith Trout died Tuesday at the age of 92. She taught at Elon University. She taught at Elon University from 1963 until her retirement in 1993. She served as the chair of the English department and of the Academic Council. She helped create the Communications Department and Women's Studies programs. Services are scheduled for Saturday, November 6th at 4 p.m. at the First Presbyterian Church in Burlington.
The election might be driving you insane, but that might be all the driving you'll be doing. Our Jasmine Hager is here with Pump Patrol Update.
Thanks, Rachel. Another gas price hike may be coming our way, but the difference could only be a couple of cents. The Colonial gas pipeline in Alabama exploded for a second time Monday, leaving 1 person dead. According to Colonial Pipeline executive Gerald Beck, a track hose struck the pipe and caused the explosion. The pipe is expected to reopen as early as Saturday, but it will still affect gas prices. According to GasBuddy.com, average gas prices last week in North Carolina were $2.19. And in the next few days, we can expect to see gas prices rise 10 to 25 cents. If you want to fill up, the BP off West Haggard Avenue and Williamson Avenue has regular gas for $2.16. At the Citgo off West Haggard Avenue and University Drive, the price for regular gas is $2.19. Live in studio with your Pump Patrol, I'm Jasmine Hager.
Thanks, Jasmine. The Global Education Center has been dealing with a little bit of confusion recently. The issue started when an article was shared about a building in London getting fined because there were more tenants than the building allowed for. However, the article was accompanied by a photo of 37 Hyde Park Gate, better known as the building in which Elon students live while studying abroad in London. The confusion was cleared up by a London newspaper article which showed a picture of the actual building, 36 Hyde Park Gate. For more information on this story, visit our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Will the sweater weather return? After the break, I'll have your Phoenix 5-day forecast.
And later in the show, a performance from sophomore Trey McMichael.
But before we go, the indie duo band Matt and Kim are performing this weekend, but many students don't recognize their name.
Let's Go and Daylight are probably my favorites.
I don't think there is a Matt and Kim song I know.
None.
Well, in true North Carolina fashion, it's been cold in the mornings and warmer in the afternoons. There's no way to dress for it, really.
And like 10 degrees colder at night.
Crazy. Luckily, our Cami Benke is in the studio to tell us what's going on with the weather. Cami?
Well, good morning. It has been unusually warm outside. Feels more like summer than it does fall. But overall, we've had beautiful weather. The sun is shining, and that's expected to continue throughout the week. Today, expect plenty of sunshine, highs in the lower 80s and low 56. Tomorrow will be a little cooler, but still sunny with a high of 69 and a low of 42. Saturday and the rest of the weekend is looking beautiful with highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Monday and Tuesday will be sunny as well with highs in the upper 60s. That is your Phoenix 5-day forecast. I'm Cami Benke. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cami. And don't forget, we fall back an hour on Saturday. But did you know daylight savings time was originally created to make more use out of natural light and therefore cut down on energy costs? The U.S. adopted daylight savings time around World War I to conserve fuel needed to produce electricity. Since World War I, Congress signed the Uniform Time Act, which standardizes time across the U.S. into law, but has mostly left it up to state and local governments to decide whether or not to take part. Today, around 73 countries and 48 states observe daylight saving time. Arizona, Hawaii, and several American territories do not. But for us here at Elon, daylight saving time starts November 6th. So don't forget to turn back your clocks.
The Doherty Center for Entrepreneurial Leadership hosted 10 groups of student entrepreneurs during the Innovation Challenge, a Shark Tank-like competition where students presented self-designed projects created for social and environmental impact. Judged by a panel of Elon alums with entrepreneurial backgrounds, pants were given marketing feedback, while the most innovative ideas received monetary rewards. First place winner Maddie Reynolds is here in studio to tell us about her project.
Thanks for being here, Maddie.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So can you just tell us a little bit about what your product does exactly?
Absolutely. So me and my business partner, Sasha Kagan, developed a product called Safe Ties. And essentially what it is a clear plastic usable hair tie that can detect date rape drugs when put into a drink.
Wow. Great. And what was kind of your inspiration behind this?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we actually did this for our Entrepreneurial 250 creativity class, and that's where we came up with the idea. I'm actually an RA in the global neighborhood, and a lot of my girls were coming up to me after recent allegations and rumors, and they were concerned about their safety going out at night. And just their cries and their concerns really spoke to me, and it made me want to do something to make them feel a little safer, so hence this product.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Maddie. Sounds
Absolutely.
like a great product.
Great idea.
And, thanks for telling us about it.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And coming up after the break, we celebrate the sweet tastes of France for National French Week.
Seem like it, fall is here, and I'll have some fashion trends after the break.
None. I don't know any Matt and Kim songs.
I actually don't know any of their songs. It doesn't sound bad.
When the leaves start to change colors and the days get a little bit cooler, it might be a good idea to adjust your outfits with the season. Avik Bargavit is here with the latest on fall fashion. Avik, welcome.
Welcome. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So one thing I love about fall is what you get to wear. And the summer was all about minimalism, seeing what you could do with as little as you could do. But one thing about fall is that you really want to try to just do a lot because you got to layer anyway.
Right, you got to layer.
So one of those ways you could do that is with popping colors. And we have here this awesome pink bomber jacket.
Awesome.
And it's not only functional, it could be another layer, but it's also got that color. And then if you move down, one of the most interesting trends I saw this year on the runway was velvet. It's really big in women's fashion this year for some reason, but I get it because not only is it probably comfortable, I don't know. It was probably
You don't have
comfortable.
pants yourself?
No, I don't.
No, okay.
But it looks good, and it goes well with almost any outfit. Plus, you've got this volume with the sheer, which is looking great. And now, if we move on to the men's fashion, you'll start to see if there are actually some similarities between the two.
Okay, I see the jackets.
Yeah, right off the bat,
Colors,
exactly.
colors are working. I like it.
You've got the eye for fashion, I see it. So we've got the bomber jacket, which is a trend that's really not showing any signs of stopping. So if you thought it was too late to get one, it's absolutely not. Just add it as another layer. Plus, as we've got on both of them, actually, we've got the checkered pattern, the flannel. You know,
Fall staple.
A fall staple, exactly. And it's coming back, and it's going to be here again, this time with maybe more color, with some reds, some oranges.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
And then you've got denim, of course, and in the shoes, it's almost a little bulkier this time.
Okay.
You know, it's not only functional, but it's also very fashionable.
Okay.
So we're bringing bulky into style. And fall is looking good, guys, so I expect to see this, next time. You guys are looking great.
Right after the show,
But the weather's going to change.
I gotta step up my game here. I love it. We apologize for the technical difficulties. An Elon staff, faculty, and students can drop by McKinnon Hall to donate blood with an appointment or to register on the spot. Elon women's assistant soccer coach Samantha Schofield couldn't donate blood as a student athlete, but now, since she has a chance to, realizes how important it can be for others. Today is the final day to donate blood in McKinnon Hall. The hours are 10:30 until 3, and one donation can save up to 3 lives.
Most students don't get to work with a Tony Award-winning singer, but sophomore Trey McMichael got to spend a part of his summer doing just that. Our Maritza Gonzalez, has more.
Trey McMichael has dedicated a lot of his time at Elon to musical productions and working with nonprofit organizations. But it wasn't just to add another title to his resume.
On the outside, it looks like, oh wow, he's involved with a whole lot of different things, but everything that I do is just a part of what I want to do, and so I'm not doing anything that feels additional. It feels like I'm doing everything that I was meant to do and everything that I love.
His passion for musical theater and social activism led him to work with a Broader Way Foundation over the summer, an organization that offers girls an outlet for self-expression and creativity through art-centered programs.
And for 2 weeks, we worked on them on leadership development as well as artistic growth, and combining the two and seeing how they can use the arts as a catalyst for leadership growth and personal development.
A Broader Way Foundation was founded by Tony Award-winning artist Adina Menzel, who is also working on a music video for a recent album.
A part of that music video were the girls, and we created a dance with them, and she did the dance, and we all got to sing, and I'm actually in the music video, which is really cool.
McMichael plans to continue his work with nonprofits, working towards giving others the outlet that musical theater has given him. Maritza Gonzalez, ELN Morning.
Well, thank you, Trey. We're excited to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
So when did you start singing? When did this all sort of begin?
So I never had a definite start of my, vocal training. I grew up in church and singing on the youth choir and with my parents, with my grandparents. But I went to a performing arts magnet middle school all the way through 12th grade.
Wow,
so I've kind of been singing and doing this my whole life.
Right.
But not really intensely until high school, and I guess you're at Elon too.
Okay, very good.
So what have you been doing here at Elon to kind of further your career, I guess, or your passion?
Yeah, so every day I take musical theater classes, dance classes, acting classes, vocal classes, and I'm in a production right now actually called Parade, and this is the last weekend to catch it. We've been working since September, believe it or not.
I see the posters around campus.
Every day, practicing and rehearsing the show and making sure that we're telling this story as best we can for the Elon community.
Very cool. So obviously you had a great summer experience.
Yeah.
What was your biggest sort of takeaway from that?
So over the summer, I worked with the Broadway Foundation, which is out of New York City, but the camp or the program takes place in Massachusetts. And my biggest takeaway, I guess, was working with these girls who I had never met before coming to this program, and then being able to tell them what I think is, the pillars of humanity, and telling them what I think, how you can grow as a person, how you can grow as a performer, and being able to see them take those, little bits and pieces and expand on them throughout the time that I was there with them.
Wow.
That's kind of, I guess, my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Great, and can you tell us a little bit more about the song you're going to be performing?
Yeah, so I'll be performing a song. It's from the musical. Sorry, I had a brain fart. This happens a lot to me.
It's our morning show. It's
Yes,
nice
I know.
It's
It's from the musical Dogfight.
Okay.
And my character is Eddie. It's called Come Back.
Cool, very cool. Well, we're looking forward to hear it.
Thank you, Trey. So before you perform, we'll be live tomorrow with ELN Radio at 12:30 p.m. on WSOE 89.3.
In the meantime, be sure to follow us on social media at ELN Morning and check out our website at elonnewsnetwork.com. Trey, take it away.
Thanks, Trey.
Blue ink sinks in like a ghost that won't wash off your skin. It still comes back. It still comes back. Bees fight. Bees sting. Watch them die, and you can't do a thing. They won't come back. Where do you go? I don't know. I don't know anymore. There is no before, only now. They scoff, they spit, no parade, all you get is lick. When you come back, when you come back, repeat, replay, each death, each day, there's a guilt that you can't shake away for coming back. Where do you go? I don't know.